Hey, Standing Simmer here today, and welcome back to the channel for another speed build in The Sims 4. So guys, this is another speed build over in Mirage Park in the new world that we got with Get Famous. And actually, if you can see right there over to the left, everybody look over to the left, I don't know. Anyways, if you look over to the left, that is another speed build, the very first speed build I ever put together with Get Famous, which I put out last week on the channel. So I decided that A, there actually is a purpose behind me wanting to build this house, as is typical for a lot of my houses. It's not super common for me to build something that I'm not going to use in my personal gameplay, but I was building this for a current household, but I also was really motivated by the fact that there are only 3 lots in Mirage Park. And to some, that is a bad thing. To people who are looking to fill up the world or looking to be completionists like me and just filling up aspects of the world, that's really good news, because that means that there's a little bit less that I have to do to fill up an entire section of the new world. So as of the moment that I'm recording this, I have completely filled out Mirage Park. Now again, that's not saying much. There are only 3 lots available, but counting in the lot that I put out last week, like I already mentioned, and then another speed build that you'll probably be seeing next week, only because I'm kind of finding it difficult this weekend to like put together the time to edit and record and, you know, do all the little like behind the scene details to putting out a speed build, which isn't massive, like I'll grant you that, but I'm also prioritizing another video this week. So anyways, it's a speed build you'll probably see next week. So, but though, as of right now, if you go on my gallery page, you can download a lot for all of the lots in Mirage Park. So everything's already on the gallery. It's just a matter of me sharing them via speed build format. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing today. This is one of the 40 by 30 lots in Mirage Park. I've already filled up the 50 by 40, which again, the video that I put out last week, for some reason I decided to start building on the largest lot in this area of the world. So that kind of made my job easy when it came to putting lots on the other ones, because it automatically meant that they were smaller, which was really nice. So we are done with, at least the one that we're doing right now is a 40 by 30, as you might know if you know anything about the lot sizes in this world. And of course, because I was trying to keep with a similar theme, I know that other people have done things or styles other than mid-century modern in this area. Like, I've heard the Sims team refer to the build style as well as California craftsman. So if you look at the set dressing or the other lots that aren't playable that are kind of surrounding this area of the world, they're not strictly mid-century modern. I think mid-century modern comes more from, now guys, granted, I'm not an architect. I really don't know too much about this, but I mean, just looking around at the other lots in this part of the world, they're not necessarily like mid-century modern in like the style that I'm building right now. There are a lot of styles that could use the same objects, but they don't look the same to me. So tell me if I'm wrong, you know, let me know if there's something there that I'm missing. But being that I'd already started to build in this area of the world with the mid-century modern style, I really wanted to keep to that somewhat strictly, because I imagine that if you're talking about a single architect putting together a lot of homes in one area of a town or a neighborhood, then they'd probably look somewhat similar. I didn't want to do like 2 lots in one style and then do another one that would obviously stick out like a sore thumb, because it would be very obvious, especially since there are only 3 lots. That's another kind of minor downfall of that, is that you can't do like 2 of one style and 1 of another and it all look somewhat cohesive. So at least that's what I think. I could be totally wrong there, you know, who knows. But anyways, that's my justification for why you guys are seeing yet another mid-century modern build from me. Now, it's not saying a lot again, because I've only shared one, it was last week, but you guys are probably seeing a lot of mid-century modern style builds about this time of the year, of the month, because, you know, Get Famous released a lot of objects that really go well with that style. So pardon that you are seeing something that is yet again in this style, but also know that, you know, there is a wealth of inspiration photos on Google. So I mean, at least all my builds look a little bit different to one another, and I hope that they look different too, at least in some small sense, of all the other builds that you've been seeing with this new pack. Same style, but that means too that if you're putting together a neighborhood of your own, you can kind of pick and choose what builds you put, because you have a lot of options when it comes to the style. So Always trying to look on the bright side, you know? So guys, the purpose that I mentioned earlier for me actually like getting over here to my computer and doing a build, which for me was on a Saturday. Fun fact, my Saturdays are they're like my coveted day. Like okay, that sounds weird. I work all week, Monday through Friday. I sometimes also have to work the weekends. It depends on my schedule and the need for it. But occasionally, I will also have to work on a Saturday. So that leaves Sunday as my only day off. I've mentioned before that Sunday is really never like fully a day off for me. We have a lot of family stuff going on. I mean, it seems like Sunday is the day where everybody I know gets together and is like, hey, what can we schedule for Mariah to do on a Sunday? Like, that's how Sunday feels to me. But so Saturday, if I get it off, is like my only real day off of a week. And so I'm very, like, I guess selfish is a word I could use. It has a bad connotation, but selfish is kind of accurate. I'm very like close to my heart about the time that I spend on Saturday. I don't usually do much on Saturdays because I need a day. Now, some of you guys might not be like this, but I am a person who needs one day, like one day of a whole week, that's it. I need a day to relax, unwind, get stuff done at my house, get stuff done for my YouTube channel. Like, this is a day for me that is like, it has a very productive aim, but it usually ends up looking pretty relaxed. And I need a day like that every week. Like, if I don't get that day, you guys will know it, because if you talk to me, I will be a wreck. Like, I just will. So Saturday is really that day for me. I'm not even remembering like how I got around to this. Oh yes. So it's sort of unusual for me to build on Saturdays because I classify building as like very like working toward my YouTube goal, which is not a bad thing. But as funny as it sounds, I do a lot of my building typically like for the YouTube channel on Sundays and like off and on throughout the week if I get the inspiration. Because if I build on a Saturday, it means that that's like hours of my day gone. Like, it took me approximately 2.5 hours to put together this house, and the only reason I attempted it on a Saturday is because I had a definite aim. And because, guys, this is the thing, it seems like all of my current households right now, or all the families I'm playing in general, are like begging for new houses. Like, I am at the point in a lot of the generations that I'm playing where they're all needing new homes to live in. And so, like, in some cases, my gameplay has kind of been on hold because I've just been needing to find the time to put together a house for them. So the house that I'm building today, that you guys are seeing right now, is for my Pink Generation Not So Berry sim. And some of you may know that I'm playing the Not So Berry challenge as a current household because I put up almost, I say weekly. Okay, it's been a couple of weeks since I put up the last one, and you will be getting one this upcoming weekend because I just recorded it yesterday. I recorded it the same day that I put this build together, but you will be getting one of those finally again this week. And it's been a couple of weeks because I explained a little bit of this in that video, but really it was like a combination of factors. One being the, you know, EA patch that just kind of just demolished the ability to use any non-EA hair recolors. And the problem with that is that at the time, I was in the orange generation, like still very much into the orange generation, like not even ready to transition into the pink generation when this happened. In fact, my pink generation sims were toddlers. So orange generation, I was using a regular old EA hair color for that generation. But with my pink gen sims, being toddlers, you have to use custom content in order to get toddlers and children to have hair colors that are not EA hair colors. Like, EA won't even let you have crazy colored hair, even their crazy colored hair, when you're toddlers and kids, because that makes sense, right? But you have to use custom content to enable that. And like, my eyes were being a little bit glitchy, like the amazing, beautiful custom content eyes that I use, they still worked, but the genetic aspect of them was kind of weird when it came to the eyes that the kids ended up getting. So long story short, it just kind of put that save on hold. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just praying that EA releases a fix for this quickly, which, as you know, as you probably know, I should say, they did this last week. So that issue was fixed. At the same time, of course, Get Famous was getting ready to come out, and I was like riding the hype train to the Get Famous release. And, you know, that's kind of like, when a new pack comes out, for me at least, that's kind of the dominant focus of a lot of my attention when it comes to The Sims. And I'm sure that there are people out there who are like, okay, you know, bless, I'm so excited for that hype to die down a little bit so that we can get back to normal life, so to speak. And I'm kind of that way, only because I'm excited to start seeing like integrations of the new pack with a lot of other stuff. And to not just be watching builds and such that are solely focused around the new pack. And I don't know if that's probably not a very popular opinion. I don't know if any of you guys understand even what I'm saying there, but I was writing the hype train a few weeks ago. I'm taking a very long time to explain what I'm trying to mean here, guys, but all that culminated in the fact that I didn't play my Not So Berry family for a good couple of weeks. But yesterday I got in my game. I was like, Mariah, we're gonna buckle down. We're gonna start working through this family because you know you love this family and you know you want to play this family. So let's just get into the game. And you know how sometimes when you are away from a current household for a few weeks, you kind of start to question whether you even want to go back and play them again. And that's almost kind of where I was, even though this family that I'm playing for Not So Berry started as like this awesome, amazing current household with the Goth family that I loved so much. It ran like 6 generations or something crazy. And then I transitioned it into Not So Berry. A lot of you guys have heard this before, and so I'm sorry if you're hearing like a massively repeated information, but I transitioned it into Not So Berry, and I'm now, Orange Generation is the 6th generation of Not So Berry, and I'm just at the point where I'm transitioning into Pink, which is the 7th. So I've been playing this family for like 12, 13 generations, like in the same line, not the same save because I had to move saves when they became Not So Berry, but you get the idea. And I've been playing this family for a while. They're near and dear to my heart, and I want to finish the challenge with them. So I kind of just had to like buckle down, make the time, open up my game. It was early Saturday morning when I did so, and I played all day except for when I was building. And so it was great. I loved it so much. Like I said, you guys will be getting a current household update on them later in the week. So if that's something you regularly follow or would be interested in following, there's a whole playlist over on my channel of the Not So Berry updates. And again, we are about to round off, or spoiler, in the update later this week, we'll round off Orange Generation and transition into Pink Generation. And I am so excited. So my Pink Generation sim, gosh, I have taken a long time to explain this. I'm so sorry. So let me just like take a quick pause really quick and tell you something about what's going on in the build right now. So you guys can see I put together the whole exterior, jumped into the interior. This is a pretty short build. It didn't take me a super long time to do and sped up. I was surprised at how quick it seemed to go by. But we got into the interior. You guys will see dominant pops of pink, and that is the reason for that. I also wanted to make this house a contrast to the last one that I did, where teal was a very dominant color. So that's why you'll see a lot of pink in this house, is because it is for my Pink Generation sim for Not So Berry. So if you're kind of wondering, like, Mariah, why all the pink? Why all the pink? Again, it's mid-century modern, so putting in like lots of pops of color is kind of excusable, but also it's for this purpose. So I also let you guys see a bathroom that I put in this house. There are 3. In total, there are 3 rooms that could function as bedrooms. The garage area, which I don't think we've furnished yet. I think I threw a couple of things over in that room, but I don't think we've furnished it yet. And then there's also an office area that's adjacent to the main bedroom, which we're furnishing right now. And that is also a possible room that you could transition into a bedroom. I only furnished one of these rooms as bedrooms, but you have technically 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms in this house. I let you guys see me furnishing one of the bathrooms, which is kind of unusual for me, but I used like some pretty cool colors in there, and I wanted you guys to kind of see how it came together. But just know that there is also laundry space, which will go in the little half bath that I again cut out later on. And then there's a bathroom off the garage area, which has like a bathtub and all that kind of stuff. So you've got plenty of room out there to do what you need to do, and lots of bathroom space. I intend there to be a growing family in this house, so that's kind of the reason that there's room, but I only furnished one room as a bedroom. So like I said a second ago before I got back to talking about the build just ever so briefly, I am transitioning into Pink Generation Not So Berry, and as you guys probably know, if you've heard anything Not So Berry, Pink Generation is supposed to start off in the business career, but they're very writing focused. Like, the sim is creative, she has the writing aspiration, my sim has been writing as a teenager. I love her, by the way. I am so pleased with the way that she turned out. Like, I'm so pleased. She's gorgeous, and I'm so impressed with how the genetics have have been maintained in this family, again, for like 12, 13 generations. It's crazy to me. Anyways, so Pink Jen starting the business career, eventually transitioned into a love of writing. They also have a postcard collection, so in the office we put the postcard board up above like the desk area, and they also, I put a chess table in the garage because even though we're not there just yet, I know that for the business career you have to build logic and charisma, and so I wanted to make sure that there was already a chess table in there. And they're also supposed to keep a well-maintained garden, so hence the garden area out in the back. So we have both an outdoor space for gardening and an indoor space for gardening, which I didn't furnish much on camera. I put a lot of the stuff in there, like the planter boxes, but I didn't actually do much with that space as far as decorating goes. So it is more decorated like in the screenshots. Oh, actually, I don't even remember if I took screenshots of the interior. Anyways, in the final build, good to go. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping up my voiceover because we're already at the end of the build, and that's crazy to me how quickly that goes sometimes. But if you want to download this, the information for that will be in the description, so go ahead and just head on over and check that out. So I just want to thank you guys so much for watching today. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you're having the best of days, and I will see you very soon. Bye!
I'm so happy.